thepascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? There's been a lot of things that have been going on inside the courtroom of this Diddy trial, and I'm telling you right now, this is most definitely the trial of the decade for sure. But there's a lot of things, aside from the fireworks and bombshells that are happening inside that courtroom, there's a lot of things that are happening in between the days. As soon as the gavel strikes and they say court is adjourned, there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes. These sides, Team Diddy and Team Feds, are not really working, not really getting along with each other, for lack of a better term. There's been some very interesting things that have been presented, some filings that have just recently come out, and I think this is very important that we check this out because the Feds are accusing Diddy of trying to cause a mistrial. Yeah, guys, this is no joke. So we got some paperwork. We got some an article we're going to look at really quick. And I just want to give you this breakdown really quick. And of course, if everything goes according to plan, Dawn Richard, okay, a member of Dirty Money and Danity Kane, she is allegedly going to take the stand today at some point, probably later on today, if everything goes according to plan. But nonetheless, there's a lot of people that are wondering what is Diddy's team really doing? What is their plan here? And it seems like prosecution is calling them out and saying they're trying to filibuster. They're basically trying to keep Cassie on the stand for as long as she can so that she basically kind of goes into labor in a way so that this whole trial is a mistrial. And what's interesting about this is that if they are trying to force her to stay on the stand, this echoes a lot of the freak-offs that she was allegedly forced to be a part of. That he would be like, no, go in there and stay in there and be in there for as long as you can. Imagine that. Him trying to control her on the stand just so he can try to get a mistrial. What's interesting is that they're also claiming that Diddy's team out of nowhere throws out all kinds of evidence, all kinds of pieces of evidence that the Feds have not even seen, nor has Cassie. It's wild information because, of course, he's trying to move the goalposts. He's trying to mess with things a little bit. You see what I'm saying? This is really bad. So look at this. Okay, she's been testifying. Cassie has been testifying in the Manhattan courtroom since Tuesday, all right, about her being forced to do these things with male S workers, all right? But prosecutors said in an overnight letter, and let me just blow this up here really quick. Prosecutors said in an overnight letter that to the judge, it seemed that the defense lawyers were intent on making her return over the weekend on Monday. And you got to remember, this woman is 8.5+ months pregnant. She is very pregnant. She's about to have a child. She needs to be focusing on birthing this child, not staying over the weekend to do this testimony. If they made an agreement that she was going to be in there for just this week, that should have been respected and that should be honored, right? So they were worried there was a risk of a mistrial if she went into labor over the weekend. So again, could this be a strategy that Diddy and his team are trying to do? Because you got to remember, she is a star witness for sure. She has one of the most scathing, most jaw-dropping, most horrific sides of the story, or her experience with Diddy. Although we don't know about the other witness, Jane Doe, again, who was apparently made to do these freak-offs as well. Okay, so a lawyer for Combs claimed on Thursday that prosecutors purposely delayed calling Cassie to testify until Tuesday after two other witnesses took the stand so that the defense would have less time to cross-examine her. In the overnight letter, prosecutors shot back that it appeared defense lawyers were trying to, quote-unquote, filibuster, like I just said a second ago. And here is some of the paperwork. Let me just show you what I mean, okay? And this, of course, is the feds writing this to the judge about the defense, because again, it's crazy that they have, and I mean, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but they say over 400 exhibits that they just threw out just randomly that no one's ever seen. This is why you have this, hearings for discovery and all that stuff. Why suddenly they're bringing these things out is ridiculous, because they want to buy more time, right? They keep on wanting to buy more time. But so let's take a look at this. So the defense has also been on notice for weeks that this witness needed to complete her testimony by the end of this week as a result of her pregnancy, and never raised any concerns with that timing until today. They had no issues with it before, but now suddenly out of nowhere, they start making complaints, start, shaking their fist in anger, being like, we should be allotted just the same amount of time as the feds. Well, it sounds like they want to have more time with her. Okay. And that is absolutely insane. That very same night, however, the defense produced for the first time over 400 exhibits to the government for potential introduction through Cassie, despite the government's repeated requests that any such exhibits be produced as far in advance as possible. So again, they're like, wait a second, we've had months, several months of getting these things together, getting all the discovery, getting all the exhibits, evidence, all that stuff ready to go. We presented you guys with all of our stuff. We're not coming in with these random last minute things to throw people off. Oh no, we are being very transparent and very open. Suddenly, when you have her and you're doing your cross, now you want to throw out all this stuff that you just pulled out your booty? Come on, y'all. So again, I can see why the prosecution's a little perturbed right now, right? So it's continuing, it says, the defendant should not now be afforded the opportunity to hold Cassie on cross-examination over the weekend, offering him an additional 2 whole days to review transcripts of the witness's testimony, to prepare additional cross-examination inquiry, or risk a mistrial if the witness goes into labor. Again, what are they trying to say? What is they trying to say right here? They're basically trying to say you can't be allotted more time for him to come up with more questions or more excuses. You can't have cross last for 4 days, right? You can't have that. We only had a day and a half. You should be allotted that same amount. This is ridiculous. So the inefficiency of cross-examination yesterday raises the inference that the defendant hopes to accomplish precisely that outcome. Yeah, it's definitely given that vibe. He wants to throw things off. He wants to buy as much time as he can so that he can, throw her under the bus as much as possible. What about these text messages? Remember these text messages? And then remember, he's got the whole weekend. If the judge allows a whole weekend, which I doubt he's going to let happen, because he was angry as hell yesterday, and he made it very, very abundantly clear that he was not rolling with these homies at all. All right. So I doubt this is going to happen. But clearly, if he gets the weekend, he gets time to mess with things. He gets time to come up with more excuses, come up with more random text messages that can be misinterpreted, okay, chopped up and screwed. And then also, it still opens opportunity for Cassie to go into labor and then whoop, mistrial. See what I'm saying? During the first day of cross-examination, which lasted the entire trial day, defense counsel cross-examined Cassie in a highly inefficient manner, okay, including by asking questions that appeared to be solely related to the numerous civil lawsuits against the defendant and not related to the allegations in this case. That's interesting. 2, retreading multiple subjects. And 3, asking Cassie to read long text message chains, some dozens of pages long, and others already in evidence, okay, and others already in evidence before asking few, if any, substantive questions about the exhibits. So again, they're like, oh yeah, I need you to read through these 13 pages really quick. Go ahead and we're going to take a 15-minute break so she can get a chance to read this, and prosecution will actually get to lay their eyes on these paperworks as well for the very first time. Then she goes up, she reads the things, she goes back up to the stand after the break, and then they ask her very few questions that have anything to do with why he really is supposed to be in trial in the first place, which is the racketeering, the STing, etc. It's all just them trying to destroy her character, trying to destroy who she is, trying to make it seem like she's a cheater, she's an addict, and, she really enjoyed those F-offs and she was a freak-a-leak. That's literally what they're trying to say right here. Real talk. That's all they're doing. They're trying to destroy and discredit the witness, and that's it. Not even talking about, they did tap in a little bit on it, but mainly the whole focus was, you loved him, didn't you? And you loved those F-offs. See all these text messages? And you love doing substances with him. Don't you see the text messages? Very interesting, though. Then, for the first time, the defense informed the court that cross-examination may continue through Monday, May 19th. The court should simply not permit that. Listen, guys, when they said that in the courtroom, I'm telling you right now, from the sources I've been hearing and from all the news we've been seeing lately, the judge was not having it. He was mad when he heard about them going, well, we might need to go until Monday. And the judge was like, oh, hell no, you won't. We agreed that she would be done by Friday. Miss me with the nonsense. He didn't say it like that, but you know what I'm saying. He was not playing. But clearly, they're trying to keep her up there, get her exhausted, wear her out, so that maybe she says something bad, something that exonerates him, or possibly she goes into labor. But I'm telling you right now, doesn't that sound a little bit like Diddy in his relationship with Cassie? Oh, you're going to get off that stand when I tell you you're going to get off that stand. But he's doing this through his team. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? But I'm telling you right now, hopefully the judge has the right mind to sit here and say, no, their moves are wrong. Over 400 exhibits that they want to bring in, pieces of evidence that the government hasn't seen, nor has Cassie, nor has anybody else, nor has the judge seen. Real talk. That's insane. Just so that they can keep her there for as long as possible in the hopes of possibly her having the baby right there on the stand, y'all. Real talk. That's freaking insane. But what say you guys? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is a strategy that Diddy is trying to do right now? Is he really trying to throw the case out like this through Cassie in this manner? Because you also got to remember, there's a possibility that they're going to do this to every other person. Dawn Richard or Dawn Richard, however you say her last name, she's coming up next. And she might be going on later today. Or she may be coming up first thing Monday. But regardless, are they going to do that to every single witness that the government brings in? Oh, we got 400 pieces of evidence real quick. We got to sit down with you. And we need 3 weeks for this one victim or one witness to go through all the 400 pieces of exhibits. That's insane, guys. It's a tactic for sure. They're trying to do something, and it smells fishy as hell, in my personal opinion. But what say you guys? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. And we'll talk here soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.